Hey guys, welcome to another video. It is Q&A time. So a lifetime ago, I put up a post in my community tabs asking you guys if you had any questions for little old me, and you guys definitely delivered. So we are going to tackle a whole bunch of those questions today. I hope I can do them in one video. There's quite a few of them. I'm going to try and condense as much as I can. Lego. So the number one question that has been asked several times under the post is in regards to our move from Australia to Greece. Have we adjusted? How we're finding things? You know, how's it going in general? Would we consider moving back? Are we missing Australia and all those fun things? So to condense the answer to all of those things, in a few days, it'll be officially 1 year since we have been here. Adjustment wise, we have definitely not adjusted the way I thought we would have adjusted by now. Like, you could understand not adjusting within the first few months. A year later, you'd probably expect to have kind of, you know, been integrated into the whole system of where you're living, especially considering we have lived here before. It's nothing necessarily new 100% to us. However, we have definitely not adjusted the way we thought we would have. We are okay, we are happy, we are, you know, but definitely missing a lot of things. Greece and Australia are two completely different countries, so we basically have nothing that we normally would have had there. You know, there's a bit of a culture shock, I would say. That's what I would call it, like a bit of a culture shock in that it's very, very different. So when you say you miss things, it's like you miss the whole country, you miss everything it offered you, and this country here gives you completely different things. So yeah, I definitely will say I feel like we had adjusted a lot better to life in Australia than we have adjusted to life here, considering we know we've lived in two countries and kind of moved back and forth between them a couple times. As far as moving back, like considering moving back, as I said, it's practically a year since we have moved here, and I think it is time that we are starting to kind of reevaluate and see. The idea had been 6 to 12 months and kind of reevaluate at that point. So we are at that reevaluation point right now. And it's like, it's based on a lot of different things. I might do a separate video kind of talking about that a little bit, just so you guys have a bit of an idea of, you know, the working of my brain basically, and hubbies as well. We're kind of taking everything into account because above all, we have two little girls who need stability. So we need to do the best we can for them. And another little like by question along all those questions was also because I did mention in our moving video that we had moved for health reasons in regards to Angel. That has definitely been the one thing that has worked out. It has been a lot better since we arrived here, and so that's why I'm quite happy. Like, even if we haven't adjusted perfectly, even if, you know, we have a whole bunch of other little issues in regards to being in this country, the one main purpose of our move has definitely been accomplished, or at least accomplished, you know, up to a certain level, certain extent that makes us happy, you know, with the result. So that is a good thing. Now, another bunch of questions, again, kind of following on to that previous one, has been, are the girls bilingual? Who's Greek? Are we Greek? Do we speak Greek? What's the deal? Basically, hubby is Greek, 100% Greek. Family, everyone, 100% he speaks Greek. He does not speak English. He does speak like a little bit, like a tiny teensy weensy bit. I am bilingual. I was born in Australia, moved to Greece when I was 8, and then moved back when I was much older, kind of back and forth. I am fully like fluent in both languages. There you go. The girls are, well, they're bilingual in the regards to they can understand both languages fully and completely. Angel has started speaking a lot more Greek now that we are here. Iris doesn't really. She does kind of like have some words here and there, but mainly she speaks English. However, they're pretty much both, like, they understand both languages. They are on the way to be fully bilingual as they grow older and, you know, schooling and all that fun stuff. Okay, let's move on to some questions now that I can't really, oop, my phone being very noisy, that I can't really condense. We're just gonna have to go with them. So first and foremost would be, what's it like for you, what's a day in the life for you as a mom, basically? And all that, like, kind of linked to being in a new country and adjusting and all that. I have to say, I feel like our day-to-day has started to improve pretty much in the last month. It has taken us quite a while. As I said, we haven't adjusted as I wanted to. So naturally, the day-to-day kind of happenings around here are kind of complicated because of the lack of adjusting in general. Again, I'm probably going to do a whole separate video on kind of going into more detail on a few things, because I think it'll make this video very, very long. What is your favorite meal? What is your family's favorite meal that you cook them? Are your kids picky eaters? And what, if any, are your remodeling plans for the new house? As well as a lovely little, how are you really? Honestly, I don't know how I am really. I don't think anyone really knows. Again, I feel like that needs a separate video of heart-to-heart chats. I think I might start doing that. To the question, picky eaters. Oh my lord, we are a family of picky eaters. I am a very picky eater. I've always been. I can't help myself. Hubby he's a picky eater in the weirdest ways. Like, he won't eat like chicken and red sauce, for example. Like, I don't even. Anyway, he's a very strange picky eater. The girls are also, yeah, rather. I mean, Iris is not as bad. Angel is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Like, our number one would probably be spaghetti bolognese. Everyone eats it. Everyone's happy with it. So, yeah. Definitely one of the standards in this house. As for remodeling the house, honestly, I think if we do decide to kind of continue on this path of being here and so forth, I definitely want to do something with the kitchen. 100%. The kitchen needs to be revamped. And our bedroom. Our bedroom is like a whole project of its own. So definitely a lot of things that I would change and I would want to fix up. But again, that kind of is, you know, has to do with, are we gonna stay, are we not, what are we doing with our lives in general? Oh, I love this question. How do you find time to clean as a mom with everything going on? Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, I love this question. So cleaning. So I used to have a bit of an all or nothing approach, as in I wanted everything to be spotless, everything to be perfectly clean, in order, and have no one touch it. Which, as we know, with children is literally impossible. I have managed to reach a point where I clean, as in I have a bit of a functionally clean system now, where things are clean and tidy as long as they have homes to go to, and I can pretty much tidy up within like 10 minutes max. I'm happy. I do have a deep clean session per room. I try once a week. Usually doesn't happen once a week, I will be honest. I would say definitely every 15 days though, because, you know, bathrooms need to be deep cleaned. It's a thing. So I definitely try to get a good deep clean session for my kitchen and my bathroom at least once every couple weeks. Other than that, I do have a tendency of just wiping everything clean pretty much every single time I get a chance. So like in the mornings, if I, you know, I'll go to the bathroom, whatever, I will do a quick wipe. In the kitchen, I never cook with a dirty kitchen. I never cook with dirty dishes in the sink. It's just like a rule that I have always had, and it's helped me because it means that I don't start cooking and creating more mess in an already messy environment. So, and then I also have just come to the point of accepting that I will vacuum and everything will be nice and spotless for 2 seconds, and then there'll be things on the floor again. Yeah. I think when you're a mom of small children, young children, clean has to be something that you have to reevaluate what the term clean means for you. You have to kind of make some adjustments to it. Another fun one before we get into like the really heavy motherhood TTC questions. What do you and hubby like to do together in your free time? What would you want to do if you have a date night and pick any activity? Oh my gosh, so we're very much introverts, as in we like to just kind of chill on the couch and not really do much. I think like an ideal date maybe would probably be, because honestly any date, like any moment that we are alone for us is like, you know, when you have small children, it's kind of hard. And we don't really have anyone to like look after them for us to actually have alone time. There we go. For us to actually have alone time at all, really. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. I would say ideally, probably go out, have something nice to eat. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. We don't do fancy. We just don't do fancy. That's the thing. Have something yummy to eat, and I would say just have some time where we're not worrying about our kiddos. I feel like this past probably 2-3 years especially has definitely been kind of like kid focused a lot of the time. So we do have alone time, as in once they go to bed, that kind of thing. Quiet alone time, I would say. That's more of what, you know, we enjoy. Ideally though, I would like to like go out and actually have a meal, have something, you know, with just hubby. That would be nice. But yeah, we haven't done that in a long time. I love this question. So how do you manage through the day with little or interrupted sleep? Sometimes I wonder myself. So I think basically a lot of the time what I realize is, so I have this little like setting in my head that says, you just got to do this because who else is going to feed your kids? So if I'm completely exhausted, like completely wiped out, I have not had any sleep at night, I will probably just have a cool, chill day where I will do the absolute minimum for survival purposes. So food and me sitting on the couch watching them while they play. That's about it. If I'm completely wiped out. If I've had interrupted sleep, not as much sleep as I would probably need, which is pretty much 90% of the time, I just kind of work through it, honestly. I don't take naps. I hate naps. And I couldn't really, because the girls don't really sleep anymore now. But I never really liked naps. I just kind of work through it, really. I feel like I don't really have a choice because I am a mom, and I kind of, as I say it, I feel like it sounds bad to say that I'm just, because I'm a mom, I kind of have to work through it, no matter the level of exhaustion. But I think it's just like, I kind of, based on how tired I am or not tired, I just kind of balance out the things that I want to get done. So I don't try and do everything all in one day. If I'm tired, I will pick the tasks that I want to achieve, what my priorities are, and then kind of go from there. I do tend to kind of pick up energy as I start moving around, and then kind of fall later in the day. When I do feel that tiredness come on, I do tend to just give myself that time and space to just sit down and do nothing. I find that helps, because if I try to push through that phase where I'm kind of falling for the day because my exhaustion just kind of catches up with me, that's just a recipe for disaster. But yeah, I think the crux of it is I feel like I don't really have a choice. I mean, I have little children. How could I possibly not get up or not do all the things I have to do despite being tired? It's kind of a mentality thing, I think. How do you take time for yourself as a mom with toddlers? I don't. Honestly, I do have my daily showers, which is the time where I actually think. And I've just it's a rule where I have my shower every day. And when I say shower, I mean it's a good 20 minutes, just kind of sitting in there, just, soaking basically. Not just a matter of washing hair, that's all done. It's kind of my time to breathe and listen to my thoughts. And it's pretty much the time when hubby is home, watching the girlies while I do that. If you could fulfill any wish, except being pregnant, of course, what would you wish for? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think above all, like, I would just want to have, like, just all of us to be healthy and happy and just a simple everyday life. Like, no complications, I would want just that, just the complications to not exist, where you're thinking, should I move back? Should I stay here? Should I do this? Should I do that? What are my options? I would just want things, life to be very uncomplicated. That's what I would want. So this question kind of bounces off like another one, but it says, what's your typical day between being a mom to cleaning, all that kind of thing? I will say I have finally kind of fallen into a bit of a routine, especially this past month, where I will get up in the mornings before the girls are like up and out of their beds, because like, for the first like 30 minutes or so, they're kind of just lazing around in bed. They don't get up straight away. So I tend to kind of get up and start moving, as in tidying up, picking up what needs to be picked up. I've also started really putting in a nighttime routine that helps the morning, basically, so I can kind of hit the ground running. Okay, moving into a couple of final simple questions, and then we're tackling all the like mommy questions. How did me and hubby meet, and how long have we been together? I think I had answered this like ages ago, but I feel like it needs its own video. In a small, 13 years of being together, seven of oh my lord, 7 of those we've been married, or has it been 8? Oh my goodness, 13 years in total, basically. It's been a long time. 13 years of that. We met through a friend upon hubby's request, basically. So he kind of chased after me a little bit, and I was happy to oblige. So yeah. Okay, moving on to a few more like in-depth questions. Do you ever miss life before children? I have 2 and 1 on the way. Sometimes I catch myself thinking I didn't appreciate married life before children like I should have. Yeah. I definitely do. I feel like there's a stigma and a bit of a like people don't let you say that. People don't let you say, oh, I miss life before my kids, or oh, I wish I had enjoyed being married and being with my partner, you know, a little while longer, just the 2 of us, before adding more to our family. I feel like it's okay to say that you miss that, and it's okay. Like, saying that doesn't mean I don't love my children. Saying that doesn't mean I don't love my family as it is right now. It's just basically, I do miss myself as I was before I had children. I do miss the times when it was just the 2 of us, and the only thing I had to worry about really was me and hubby. So I feel like that's definitely something that we need to talk about a little bit more, as in that, yes, I definitely do. I definitely do. I definitely did not appreciate the time I had before I had children. I feel like at times that we kind of jumped into our first, and then that just kind of got the ball rolling in all reality. But yeah, that's something that does happen. Yes. I have my moments, as I think all mothers do, and I think it's okay to say it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because there's just so much like, be grateful for what you have and don't say things like that. And no, it's human. We're allowed to express this. Okay, so this is, okay, so I've watched your channel for 2 years. Went recently back to your old videos after you had Angel, where you talked openly about struggling with postpartum depression. These videos are very helpful. I had postpartum depression with my baby. He's now 9 months. I really want a second, but I'm scared of going through the same stuff. Did you experience postpartum depression again with Iris? So I had quite a few issues after I had Angel. I had postpartum depression. I struggled quite a bit. Thankfully came out the other end. When I had Iris, I was traumatized. I definitely had postpartum depression. I definitely had postpartum anxiety. My whole experience with Iris's birth, I think, was rather traumatizing as well. So it was not easy. I had anticipated the depression part. I had not anticipated everything else. I feel that every pregnancy is different, and every birth is different. Everything is very, like, between children, everything is completely different. So I know that if everything had gone well with Iris's birth and delivery, I definitely would have been in a much better place than I had been in Angel's case. However, unfortunately for me, that wasn't the case, and I was definitely traumatized. I had a lot of issues after that, but I don't think that is a reason to, I mean, this is the point where you kind of have to think, what is more important? Like, do you think that your mental health will decline if you have another baby? Do you think, like, if it took you a really, really long time to get out of the first time, to heal from it, to move on from it, then it would be something that I would consider. Maybe if you really want another baby, but you're concerned about your mental health, find a professional that can support you through the pregnancy, as well as like the labor, delivery, like the mental aspect of all of that. Because sometimes we expect a lot from our partners, and they're not able to do that, and it's not fair to expect them to be able to handle our mental state as well, because they can help you up to a point, but sometimes you do need that professional help. And I think that's the one thing that looking back, like, if I could do something different, I would have done, because the things with like Iris' pregnancy were starting to get a bit tricky. I think I should have looked more into the whole mental health aspect of it after I had her, rather than just struggle alone. But yeah, I definitely think you need to kind of measure that out a little bit, because if you feel that your mental state will really go downhill, definitely find like ways to help yourself, to support yourself. And I also think it would be a good thing if, you know, for example, your partner would actually speak with the mental health professional as well, in ways to help you deal with postpartum depression. There's just a lot that can happen, a lot that you can learn and you can actually do. I don't think it's something that would necessarily stop me from having another baby, but I do think I would definitely want to have support mechanisms in place for when that comes around. if that does come around. I mean, baby blues are a normal thing. It's a big change. Hormones are going crazy. They're crashing everywhere. That's fine. It's when you get past that point and things are very dark, that's when you know that, yeah, you definitely need help. So I did struggle a lot after having Iris, and I struggled a lot because I didn't have the help and support I needed, as in professional help. Hubby did what he could possibly do, and then I'm also very like, I have a sense of, I don't want people to see my weakest points. I just don't. So I tend to hide that a lot as well. Okay, so let's go into a few more like TTC questions. So one question is, how does hubby feel about TTC? Honestly, he's kind of like, oh, it'll happen. He's not as phased or as concerned as I am at times. He's very like, oh, you know what? We've been through a whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of changes. We're still technically like all over the place. It will happen when the time is right. All we have to do is just kind of keep at it and we're good to go. He's very, at times I feel like that's the reason why I'm able to kind of chill at times, because if it wasn't for him being that chill about it and we were both like anxious little people, we would probably go crazy. Just saying. Okay, so another question that I feel like deserves its whole video, basically. Would you guys ever consider fertility treatments, and how many kids would you like? So, number one, the easiest part of it. Ideally, I would want one more. I don't think we would move beyond 3 at this point. But that being said, I said that when I had 2, so you know, that can always change. But considering how long it is taking us at this point, I think that when number 3 comes along, that's where we'll stop and just not put any more of this, you know, on ourselves. Again, I don't know what will happen when I'm holding a baby in my arms. That's, yeah, baby fever is a thing. Now, as for the fertility treatments, short answer, we never really considered it with TTCing our second baby. And this time round, there are multiple issues in regards to us actually accessing fertility treatments, including us not really wanting it as an option, not feeling it's the right fit for us. There are a whole bunch of other things as well that kind of come into play, which is why I say that this might need a separate video of its own, because it's kind of concerns a lot of people as to why we were not going the fertility treatment route. I mean, in one small phrase, which doesn't really cover everything though, it's not for us right now. It's not what's right for us and our family right now. Another one that I really like. As a mother, what's the first thing you would say or impart on a new mother? I think the number one thing I would say is trust your instincts. Trust your gut feelings. I feel that a lot of the struggles that come with motherhood arise because we don't listen to our instincts and we listen to what everyone around us is saying, to what all the books are saying, to what like every like, just there's so much information out there and so many people giving you advice. Honestly, as long as you are in a mentally good space, trust your instincts. Trust your own instincts. As a mama, you know what is best. If you need to, for example, hold your baby till baby can sleep, that is perfectly fine. If baby is happy to sleep in a crib straight away, amazing. Like, for example, I went through so many struggles with Angel and her sleep because everyone insisted on telling me not to co-sleep and not to hold her to sleep and not to rock her to sleep and that, oh, she has to sleep in her crib. And I was just struggling so much because she didn't want that at all. Like, there was no way. I felt like it was wrong. Like, I felt my natural instinct was to hold her to sleep, pop her next to me safely, of course, above all, you know. That was my natural instinct and what actually made sense for both of us and what gave everyone peace and quiet and sleep. And yet I was struggling and fighting against it for so long, driving myself mental, driving myself to exhaustion. My baby was just screaming all the time. It was not a good thing. Trust your instincts. Do you even hear this child? I think I got to all of them. If I didn't, please don't hesitate to comment down below any extra questions. The last one I will end this on is, what's the one type of comment you wish you would stop getting? This is okay. We are on the internet and everyone has the right to say whatever they want. I think what I've realized of late is the one thing I probably would want to stop as a, like generally as a comment, would be people assuming things to a very like far off degree. Like, I don't mind people giving me advice. I don't mind, you know, all the extra information that I get. Like, that's the amazing thing of this community. I would probably say I just would appreciate if people would stop saying things along the lines of, oh, you probably don't want it enough, or if you really wanted it, you would do XYZ. I think that's probably the comment that really gets to me. The if you really wanted it, it's kind of like, what are we talking about here? So yeah, that would probably be it. Everything else I'm pretty much, you know, I mean, as long as you're not going for my girls, I'm cool. So I think that is all for today, because I have a little cat behind me who says she's hungry. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will see you in the next video. I hope this video had any form of cohesiveness and replying to questions. Yeah, it's just been me reading the questions, kind of chatting about them really. If you like these kind of videos, comment down below. Leave me any other questions you might want answered. I'm definitely gonna do a video on the whole fertility treatment thing. To be honest, I think it would help me as well by just kind of chatting about it, talking about it. I probably won't go into, like, you know, personal, really super personal details, but I can give enough information to hopefully make sense. As well as a full-on life update, reevaluating a lot of things, changing a few things, kind of moving forward along those lines of the not adjusting. Are we adjusting? How are we going to adjust? Are we even, like, is there any point in adjusting really at this point? We will see. Yeah, I will see you guys very soon. Bye guys.